welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian and today's video is going to be a home update video. I'm standing in my twins' playroom and I want to talk a little bit about the process in putting this room together. The total process took a couple of weeks to complete, mainly because we did the room during the weekend time and basically during our downtime since we both work full-time. But I'm really happy with the way that the room turned out, and so I'm just going to walk you guys through the process and what we decided on and why. So the goals for this room basically were to, number one, get organized. Everything was just around and all about the room, and when the kids would come in here, it's like the room would be in shambles like within 15 minutes. So I knew that I needed everything to have a place and be in its place, just so that it would be easier to maintain this room and keep it clean. Also, this room is one of the front rooms of the house, and so if the door is open and somebody comes into the front door, it's going to be open and exposed, and it's going to look dirty, or not really dirty, but just messy, like kids are in it, and that's not really the look that I'm going for. So I knew that I wanted this room to have some organization, and that was one of the goals. The next goal was for me to eliminate as many distractions as I can. My kids are 2. I have 2-year-old twin boys, Taj and Cairo, and my goal for this room was to create a space where they can play and they can learn the skills of playing. It took me a while to learn that 2-year-olds don't really have the skill for playing with one toy right now. They only have an attention span of about 2 to 4 minutes. With all the toys being just out and about in the room, it's easy for them to get distracted and bounce from toy to toy and toy without really learning how to functionally play with the toy. And one of my sons is on the autism spectrum, so I knew that I needed to create an area where he can learn how to functionally play with the toys, and basically foster like an area that would expand his attention span. So that's one thing that I wanted to do, to eliminate the distractions while they're playing, basically by creating an area where they can play with one toy at a time. The third objective for this room that I wanted to accomplish is that I wanted to create opportunities for communication. So a lot of that is done with bringing the toys out of the kids' reach, and just creating a situation where they can point to a toy, and basically creating a situation where they can call the toy by the name, or the book by the name, and we'll get into that a little bit later on in the video. So now I want to talk a little bit more about the process of creating the room. The first thing that we did with creating this room is install the cabinets, and we chose the Ikea EKET system. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I never can pronounce anything from Ikea, but I think it's called the EKET system. And the thing that I love about this system is that it's easy to install and easy to hang on the walls. And my husband and I, we can pretty much follow directions as far as the DIY is concerned, and we can do very basic things, but as far as like doing cabinetry and carpentry skills, we're not there yet. So this system, the EKET system that's behind me, is just really easy, and it was just really fast to install, and it works really well. I will say that it's a little bit cheaply made. Of course, it's Ikea, and it's like one of the more cost effective items for Ikea, which is exactly what we wanted. So the doors, you have to like balance them the right way to get them to meet and to get them to be even. But outside of that, I have no problem with the system. Like I said, it was really easy to install and it works really well. Also, another addition that we did to the EKET system that we hung on our wall is we added the little magnet child-proof cabinet locks for the bottom of them, so that again we can create a situation where we're eliminating the distractions. They can't just come in here and help themselves to a toy and mess everything up and, you know, make it really junky in here. We added the child lock on there, and basically hang on, let me see, I think I have the magnet right here. Yep. So basically with this child lock system, you put the magnet to the circles on the doors, and then it unlatches it and you can basically open it up. So we keep the magnet out of reach, and yeah, it just gives us the control of, you know, pulling out a toy and, you know, letting them play with that one or a couple of toys and then putting them back. So the next thing we did in terms of installing anything for the room is we added the shelves above the cabinets. The shelves that we chose is called the LAC system from Ikea, and I love it. One, the shelves were about $20 a piece, and they do what they need to do in terms of displaying the toys really nicely. It uses the toys as like a decorative feel for the room. They're so colorful. It looks really youthful and play-like in here, but also it creates an opportunity for communication and for speaking skills. So now when Taj and Cairo come in the room, they can point to a toy and communicate that way, or they can ask for the toy by name, which is what they're doing more and more. And it's just really increasing their vocabulary. And so, I mean, I love the shelves. Another thing that I love about both the shelves and the cabinets is that they're not permanent. I mentioned on my empty house tour that I really didn't know what I wanted this room to be. I knew I wanted it to be a room for one of my kids or a room for my kids, but I knew that they would still be sharing a room, and I also knew that, you know, one day they wouldn't share a room anymore, so I would need to use it. So it's the perfect area for them to just play with their toys. At first it was the area where we would just throw all their toys and throw them too, but it's just the perfect area for them to just kind of hang out and chill. And so later on, this area will become one of their rooms or a different space that we use in the house, and the cabinetry and the shelves are not permanent. So the next step after we had the cabinets and the shelving installed, the next step we wanted to do was to organize. So basically, whenever I organize something, I did this same thing in my bathroom organization video. Whenever I organize something, I start out by creating groups. So I put all of the art materials together, all of the balls together, all of the pretend play materials together, all of the flashcards, all of, you know, the other things that they have going on in this room. And I just put everything together in groups, and that began the process of my organization. So once you have everything put together in groups, or your groups made out for your different things, then you can say, okay, I need 2 bins for the art supplies, or I need, 2 bins for the balls, or 1 bin just for bubbles, or whatever it is that you want to organize. And that brings me to my next tip, is to measure and know how much space you need for something. And you can only do that once you know what your categories are and once you know what it is that you need to store. So we measured the cabinetry that we installed, and we also measured the different groups of toys that we wanted to put up. And that brought us to, you know, what type of bins we wanted to install for the room. So I love the bins that we chose. I found these bins at Target, and it was just a fluke, and I'm so glad that I found them there. First of all, the bins were very, very cost effective. I think they were about $4 a piece. And if you've ever shopped for bins or container storage for your house, you know that it can get so expensive. I just remember myself saying in other situations, why is this $20? Like, it's a piece of plastic with a lid. Why is this $20? But you know, you just kind of decide that it's something that you need and it fits your space really well, and you pay the $20 for all 5 of them or whatever it is that you need to do, and you know, you just kind of move on from there. But with these bins, I just really appreciated the fact that they were sturdy enough to hold the toys. They were cost effective. They were $4 a piece. The shorter ones were $3 a piece, and I just love it. If I can find these, I cleaned the shelves out at the Target that I was at, but if I can find these online, I will definitely be linking them down below, because I feel like there's so many other uses that I could use these for around the house, not just the playroom, but especially in the playroom. So after I had everything in the bins, it was time to label everything. And now I didn't go get my Cricut machine. I really would love a Cricut machine. But I didn't go get my Cricut machine. I didn't go pull out my fancy label maker or like get on my Word document and print something out. I just grabbed some labels from Target, and I just wrote everything on there. I had these little chalkboard neon markers to where, you know, you can write on a chalkboard if you need to, or write on chalkboard labels, and that was the plan for getting them. I never got around to the chalkboard labels. While I was at Target, I just picked up some regular labels and brought them home and tried to do like a little cute little youthful font on my own. I remember when I was younger and my teacher would label something in the classroom, and I feel like all the teachers did this. Whenever she would label something or make a sign, her letters would have like these little pom-poms, these little dotted pom-poms on each point of the letter. So I thought that that would be kind of like a nod to like nostalgia to do that for Taj and Cairo. and, you know, make it a little bit fun. But, you know, I just used what I had, and that's like a big tip and a big theme that I'm gonna suggest for people that are on a budget, or people who, you know, are not on a budget. Just kind of look around and use what you have, because they're gonna grow out of this room. They're gonna grow out of the toys that they're using for this room, and they're gonna, you know, you're gonna need different things, and your needs for the room will change. So I would highly recommend to use what you have and use the most cost-effective options for the room. And yeah, that's just, you know, my recommendation, and, you know, what I wanted to do as far as this room was concerned. So the next thing that I want to talk about is the decor for the room. I really don't have a whole lot of decor for the room. I think that their toys and their books are just really, really colorful and vibrant, and that's what's going to draw their attention in. So I didn't really want to make a big deal about decor for the room or overarching themes, but I did hang up these pictures that I got from Etsy. I got printouts from Etsy, and I put them in these Ikea frames, and these are pictures that I really just had on hand. These are the pictures that I used for their nursery when they were first born, and I didn't really see the need to get rid of them, because one, I paid for them once, and two, like, it's still really youthful. What I like about these pictures, again, is that it's a learning opportunity. Taj and Cairo can come in here and say, oh, you know, there's the lion, there's the elephant, there's the giraffe, you know, and just like kind of learn their animals based off of looking at the pictures, and, you know, memorize them, and it creates an opportunity for conversation between us. And also, my son has his ABA therapy in this room as well, and so his therapist does a lot of pairing with the pictures and flashcards and matching words to things. So the pictures have really, really been a hit. So yeah, what I would say is to use what you have, and just kind of think about like cost-effective ways to do things, because I'm telling you that the room will change, their needs will change, and their interests will change. That's another thing I didn't want to do. I didn't want to go all out and say, hey, let's make this a Blue's Clues room, and then next year they're really into the Cat in the Hat. I can't do it. So I just really wanted to make it a room that is really cool, really youthful, but also flexible and cost effective. So after I hung the pictures, I moved on to the shelving for the books. So I love the shelves that we found. We found these little acrylic shelves, and we got them from Amazon. I think I got the idea from someone on Pinterest. I was scrolling through Pinterest looking at something, or looking for something that was totally unrelated to their playroom, but trust your kids to shift your focus and make you buy something for them instead. So I found these shelves, and the lady used them inside of her kids' room or playroom, and so I was like, okay, this is a really good idea. So these shelves come 6 to a pack, and they're $30 on Amazon, and I'll for sure link them below. But they were super easy to install. I had my husband, I called in a honeydew favor from him, and I had him install them on the walls. The only thing that was, I don't want to say challenging, but the only thing that was tedious to us is that we had to make sure that they were leveled and that they were all installed in the same like area and they matched up, and so that part of the process can be kind of tedious if you're not used to doing things like this. But I absolutely love the way that this came out. We did 2 rows of books, and we did them kind of high, just again to create that opportunity for communication. And now my sons come in and they point to the book and they ask for the book by name. And when they first did it, I was just like really shocked, because I was like, I didn't know that you knew how to say the name of that book. That's kind of a long name. But yeah, it really worked out as far as engineering the space to foster communication. So I really like that. And then I just added some of the finishing touches. I added this rug, this really cool rainbow rug. I really like it because it gives us, again, a learning opportunity to point and say, oh, that's blue, or oh, that's orange. And it just gives us a really good, opportunity to have conversation with them and allow them to learn. Our overarching theme for this room is learn through play. And that's a lot of what toddlers do. They learn through play. So if you ever want to teach them something or show them something, it's really good to make a game out of it. And even as adults, we still do that. We make songs out of something to remember something. I did it, when I was in college and everything. So learn through play is the overarching theme of this room. And so everything that's put here, the rugs, the pictures, the shelves, the toys on the shelves, it's put there for a reason and a purpose. And it's just basically engineering their environment so that, they get the most out of it, and it creates as many as learning opportunities as possible. The other thing that we did for this room is we also put a table in this room. And I really like this because they can sit here and they can color, or they can, play with their toys on the table. Just all kinds of things that they can do. And it really helps my kids to be able to stand at the table and put their toy on it and play with it, rather than sit on the floor or stoop or bend down. It really kind of maximizes their attention span and helps them not to get tired so much. So I really like the table. This table is from KidKraft, and I'll be sure to link it down below. And then we just finished the room with some of their stuffed animals and their little lounge couches. So if they want to sit down and look at a book, or if we want to sit down and look at a book with them, we certainly won't be sitting on these couches, but we can sit on the floor next to them and just kind of, hang out with them, read a book, or play with a toy. Okay guys, that concludes this Playroom update video. If you like this video, please be sure to hit the like button below and share it and subscribe it and all that good stuff. And if you have any tips and tricks that helped you, or if you really find something helpful in this video, or you just absolutely hate something in this video, leave it in the comments down below. I want to hear from you. And until then, we will see you on the next video. Bye.